president was warmly received by his ASEAN counterparts during the culmination of the 40th and 41st ASEAN Summit and related summits today. He then seized the moment to call on fellow ASEAN leaders to further strengthen ties and take every opportunity available to improve cooperation in various fields and shun any violent means to attain goals that could otherwise be gained with the use of diplomacy instead. Glazel Pardillo reports.
Productive and meaningful. This is how President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. described his participation in the ASEAN Summit 2022 in Phnom Penh, Cambodia, where the pressing issues and concerns of the day were discussed, including national and regional security, food sufficiency, and climate change. President Marcos encouraged Cambodian business leaders to invest in the Philippines, which recorded a 7.6% growth rate in the third quarter of the year.
I think we have made the right policy decisions. We have started to make the right initiatives.
He pointed out the importance of business partnerships for immediate recovery from the pandemic.
We want the manufacturing sector to increase its contribution to our GDP. I'm sure that you will find opportunities for us to work together in the Philippines and maybe here too in Cambodia.
In two bilateral meetings, President Marcos and Cambodian Prime Minister Hun Sen discussed on improving the agriculture industry and construction of more low-cost housing. President Marcos and Vietnamese Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh both agreed to improve the state of relationships between the two countries in trade, investment, agriculture, defense, and maritime security.
We discussed at length Myanmar and the possible areas of agreement within the different member states in ASEAN, including the problems that we are feeling from the conflict in Eastern Europe between Russia and Ukraine.
They both agreed that we should have closer bilateral relations. All the ASEAN member states are pushing for the early conclusion of a code of conduct in the South China Sea. But it's all about the negotiations.
During the ASEAN Youth Meeting, President Marcos Jr. introduced the 24-year-old Governor Pax Manguda Datu of Sultan Kudarat. The young leader pushed capacity building for the youth to take action on climate change. President Marcos was among the royal audience of King of Cambodia Norodom Sihamoni. At the Inter-Parliamentary Assembly, digital transformation and the protection of migrant workers were discussed.
It is interesting to listen to the positions of the different countries on various issues, which is what happens in the interface meetings. And the bilateral meetings also have become very important because that is where we actually do business with private corporations and other countries.
From Phnom Penh, Cambodia, Glazel Pardillo for The Nation.